against one of the most daunting lineups in all of college softball. It starts with All-Americans in the top 3 spots. Jada Coleman will lead things off, and then Tiare Jennings has homered in 4 straight games in 6 of her last 9. And it is noteworthy on a very hot and humid night here in Austin at 83 degrees. The winds are kind of whipping around up to 15 miles an hour for the longest time today. It was out to left field. So the windows on the building out there beyond the left field fence could be endangered.
Yep. Already one got broken.
We already saw one in BP go down. And a called strike to Coleman. Senior out of the Colony in Texas. 3-time All-American who has reached base in 22 straight games. Over that stretch, she has struck out once and walked 26 times.
Yeah, incredible. Just 3 strikeouts on the year, 30 walks.
Chops that to short. Vivi Martinez is there, 1 down.
Good recovery by Morgan, starting her off 3-0 and was able to battle back at the ground out.
As you referenced, a lot of drop balls. 76% of her outs are on the ground. As Alyssa Brito steps in. Senior out of Tustin, California, one of 10 seniors on this roster. So it's been a bit of an up and down ride between complacency and waiting for the postseason, while also trying to match that sense of urgency your last time through. Morgan's able to knock it down, but Brito is able to leg it out. Score that one an infield hit. And a base runner now for Jennings. We'll step into the right side of that batter's box. Another 3-time All-American. Second all-time in runs batted in at Oklahoma. 3rd all-time in home runs hit.
The biggest thing to watch with Oklahoma right now is their swing path, trying to get underneath the drop ball. Tiare Jennings having one of the highest fly ball percentages in all of softball. Almost at 60% of the time. And so her goal is to try to get underneath that pitch that's down in the zone.
Here's the 2-0. That's in for a strike. These two teams met to play for the national championship 2 years ago. Oklahoma beating Texas in the championship series in OKC. Grounder to Washington, the tag applied and over to first, double play.
He's got some of the most elite movement in this game. You're going to see a lot of swing and miss and a lot of chase out of the zone.
Let's check out the lineup for Texas. Another strong group from top to bottom. The lefty in the 7 spot, Ashton Maloney, comes in tonight on an 8-game hitting streak. Bats are going to need to wake up, right, gang? They dropped the series last week, 2 of 3 to Oklahoma State, and both of those losses, they were shut out, which is very out of the ordinary for this explosive group from Mike White.
This is a Texas team that hits .418 against left-handed pitching. They have 4 of their 9 hitters are left-handed, so it'll be a little bit of an advantage for Maxwell. But this is a Texas team that can swing it. Number 2. And their batting average.
It's as close as you're going to get.
Yeah, very close. But they had an umpire on the line.
There's a look at Patty Gasso on the dugout looking on.
They threw it down to first base, and so they're saying they gave.
So now it's 3-2. So they gave her, no, now they're switching everything up. So it goes back to a 1-2 count. And now 2-2.
I don't understand that math.
No.
But
that's the next evolution for the umpires to be able to communicate with the crowd what is going on. Fouls it back just over our heads here. Beautiful night in Austin. Sold out standing room above the outfield fence and left all weekend long. Guy's got his fishnet just in case a ball comes his way. Look at, they built their own setup. They can tailgate underneath there, and then
it's called scaffolding.
Yeah, they bring their own scaffold seats. And there's a called strike 3 on the 7th pitch of that at-bat.
That swing and miss. A lot of that movement, very heavy left side, inner half to left-handed hitters. She's just a lot to handle.
Mia Scott steps in, the junior, who has reached in 21 of the last 22 games for Texas. Longhorns number 5 in the country at 29-5. They've already got some really good wins on the resume, including UCLA, Stanford, Tennessee, Florida State, and that one win against Oklahoma State last weekend. The UCLA win, they handed the Bruins the worst loss in school history, and they did that in Westwood earlier this year. That's why Mike White's got him at number 2 right now in the RPI with 5 weeks to go in the regular season. That's it. Scott gets under that. Riley Boone coming on, 2 down. Let's take a look at the repertoire for Kelly Maxwell.
Smitty, you were talking about the drop and change, that combination down in the zone. It's something that Jen Rocha in Oklahoma recognized. And you look at her numbers and usage at Oklahoma State, and the one thing you kind of circle is a little less rise ball, more drop ball. So understanding she's still going to use the rise, still use the curve, but that she can go down in the zone so effectively.
Well, she has a lot of tools, and when you're not too heavy on one part of the zone, it's a lot more difficult to hit. Let's face it, by the time you're a senior, everybody knows your MO. They know how you're attacking, and so not only are you a good pitcher throughout your entire career, but now you have a different pitch caller, so you're, by default, a different look.
Well, you've also stayed in the same conference, so all the opponents are very familiar with you. Speaking of the pitch caller, Jen Rocha, you'll note that the armbands are gone. There is a new system this year, if you're new to softball this season, where the dugout can call the pitches and call the defense, and Kelly Maxwell.
Almost 290 ground outs. They had 15 double plays. They turned their 15th last inning. So this is a team that is used to seeing the ball put down on the ground, and it is that drop ball that Mac Morgan helps roll those ground balls so effectively.
4, 5, and 6 due up here for Oklahoma. Ella Parker is one of 2 freshmen that have worked their way into the starting lineup tonight out of Los Angeles. She and Cassidy Pickering, both top 5 recruits in this incoming class.
And so smart. I mean, you look at Ella Parker, you can tell how strong of a hitter she is, but watch how quiet she is, and then a great eye at the plate for a freshman. Coached very well even coming in.
Goes the opposite way. Bella Dayton back to the track. 1 down. They're getting ready for the solar eclipse here in Austin. It's right in the path, and everybody fingers crossed for good weather here on Monday. They are expecting some clouds and some rain. As Alina Torres steps in, senior out of Glendale, Arizona. Torres has reached base in 18 consecutive games. Her second year at OU after coming over from ASU. Batting average and her power numbers both up this season after a couple of years working with JT Gasso, their hitting coach. Here's a look at JT. Misses in.
Morgan has started 2-0 on 4 of the 5 hitters that she has faced.
That catches the corner, 2-1. You'll notice too the clock there in the background, the pitch clock this year. Pitcher and batter, 20 seconds to get together and get an at-bat. Ground out to second base, 2 down. 30 years now for Patty Gasso at Oklahoma. 7 national championships. 16 times to the World Series, and they are seeking the first ever four-peat in softball history. They've won the last 3 titles. It's been an extraordinary run. 8 championship series appearances in the last 11 years for the Sooners.
It's a lot of consistency. Great ability to pick up good young talent. A lot of good freshmen breaking into this senior heavy lineup. It's impressive.
Pickering got underneath that one. Caden Henry coming on, and a 1-2-3 inning for Mac Morgan. All on the road to the Women's College World Series, which gets underway May 30th in Oklahoma City. Selection Sunday, May 12th. And right before that, of course, is championship week. Kelly Maxwell back out there on the circle. Reese Atwood, the number 4 hitter. Arguably the best player in the country. The first half of the season, the bat has quieted down. And they're going to need her contributions this weekend. Maxwell gets a swing and a miss.
That is dirty. That curveball started off the plate, ended up off the plate out, ended up off the plate on the inside part of the plate. Such a hard pitch to pick up, get a barrel on.
And Atwood almost looks like she's got a little bit of a defensive swing on that last one, Jess.
Oh, yeah, after seeing this curveball, look at that bend. I mean, you know when Kenzie Hansen is catching it wrong, that's how much movement it had, and then coming back with the rise ball.
2-2. Full count.
Good to see Kenzie Hansen back behind the plate. She'd been absent from there until the last inning last weekend.
Dealing with a knee issue. Swing and a miss and a strikeout for Kelly Maxwell. That's her 3rd in the first 4 she's faced tonight.
Kelly continues to just use that elite spin. You can see where this ball is, again, off the plate. It's in the river, and then it just bends back on the back half of the strike zone. It's like a backdoor changeup with a little bit of upspin to it. And that's the thing that's hard to read off of Kelly Maxwell, is that her curveball and her rise ball, she blends them and tunnels them so well that it's hard to tell, is that ball going to run in or is it going to rise up?
That one did a little bit of both. 0-1 to Alyssa Washington, the Longhorns captain. Goes down 0-2. Senior out of Abilene, Texas.
It's a good hold. Alyssa Washington, after seeing that same pitch, the pitch before, starts to trigger. But you're right, Smitty, it's hard to tell. You got to really pick up spin, which one's going to go up and then which one is going to come towards you for these right-handed hitters.
And then she'll throw that 62-mile-an-hour off speed, almost the same sort of release on that. And really, the end of her pitch is where she differentiates with what pitch she's throwing, but as a hitter, it's too late. You can't pick any of that up. You really have to read spin.
16 strikes in her first 24 pitches tonight. And another swing and a miss. She struck out 4 of the first 5 she's seen. 2 down.
Well, it's interesting, Jess, because she works that off-speed down, and then look at the location of this rise ball. It is out of the zone. This is why she's one of the best at the chase. It's a ball to even a higher ball.
But watch Alyssa Washington's eyes. They get big, Smitty, because that came over the middle of the plate, even though it was up out of the zone.
And that's what elite movement does. You can throw it over the white part of the plate and induce that batter into swinging through pitches that are far outside of the strike zone.
Look at that pitch breakdown for Kelly Maxwell. It's Vivi Martinez steps in. Sophomore out of Arizona, member of that dynamic freshman class last year. Good contributions from the rookies again this year. Mike White and the Longhorns feeding off of that trip to the National Championship Series a couple years ago against OU. First team ever to get to the finals unseeded. And they certainly appear to have all the makings of a contender again this year. And Maxwell's first mistake of the night. And the first base runner for Texas.
I think those are the little things that Patty Gasso wants to see Kelly Maxwell clean up. That's a lefty-lefty battle, and it's a 4-pitch walk.
And that was on her to-do list this weekend. Limit the free passes. So a chance now for Ashton Maloney. Snap throw down to first.
Keeping a close eye on Vivi Martinez at first. We talked about this in the open. The speed of Texas, one of the best in the country. So many ways to get around the bases.
Right down the line to first. Easy play for Sydney Sanders. 1 on, 1 stranded. Scoreless against the top 20 RPI. Their lone loss in March to Louisiana, and that snapped a 71-game NCAA record winning streak for the Sooners. So all they've done since is go out and start another one.
That's right. Well, and it all started there at Love Field, right? Their brand new stadium. In fact, their very first game against Miami of Ohio, there was the ball was flying out of that.
They were losing for a lot of that game.
Yes.
It was a great game.
It was a great game.
Hope you can join us there in early May. That first weekend for Bedlam, we'll have the games for you. Oklahoma State for the last time as Big 12 rivals. They are still hoping to work on getting that series to continue, or at least a game or two, you know, like Florida State does. Find some time midweek somewhere, or meet in the middle at Hall of Fame Stadium.
That would be awesome.
Fans would certainly love to see that.
You've got to. I mean, come on.
For the sport, absolutely. Kenny Gajewski has told me he would love to continue Bedlam.
As has Patty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sanders draws the walk. Of course, this series will continue next year in the SEC. Second base runner tonight for the Sooners. There you see their recap, that lone loss to Louisiana. They are top 2 in just about every category. They are number 1 in the country in batting average and fielding percentage. They have 16 shutouts and 21 run rules. Good news is you get out of a lot of games quickly with the run rules, but the bad news is you lose innings for your pitchers, you lose at-bats for your hitters, so they have already shorted themselves 5 games worth of statistics and 5 games worth of experience, 35 innings lost to run rules. And that's also, you know, game management for Patty to make sure people get playing time and trying to, you know, keep everybody happy, keep them in.
Going to compete against us.
Well, and after every loss, which there hasn't been many lately, right, over the last 100 games, 2 losses, is that she said, I can't wait to see how this team responds.
Ripped foul. Maya Bland, the pinch runner now at first base, does have some wheels. She's 8 for 9 stealing bases. And how about your 3-time All-American batting in the 8th spot in the order tonight, Kinsey Hansen?
I was just going to say that. Just hiding down there at the bottom in that 8 hole.
Still with an 1160 OPS. I mean, I would put her at the top of leadership, too, for this team with the captain on her jersey. She's gotten more big home runs for this senior class.
And then you've got a 450 hitter behind her in the 9 spot in Riley Boone, who is making a push for All-American honors this year. 3-1 now, the count to Hansen. Caught the inside corner, full count. At 69 miles an hour from Mac Morgan.
Would that make you feel like as a pitcher, Smitty, when a batter was already going to first?
Oh, yeah. No, it makes you want to come back and strike him out.
Hansen fouls it off. I thought you were going to say chin music, Michelle, because that seems more in your, you know, in your mind.
Strike him out with some chin music as well.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
She had a lot of movement. You might swing at the pitch that's going to hit you in the chin.
The game's inside the game.
Absolutely.
3-2.
Well, and that lower pitch is the pitch that Mac Morgan needs. You know, she's been working from behind this entire game. She's got to be able to get that call, and when she doesn't, I'm sure that's part of what her pitching coach came out to talk about, Patty Ruth Taylor. She's got 3 3-0 counts that she started with.
8th pitch of this at-bat coming here. Hansen goes the opposite way behind Bland, who will race for third. And runners at the corners with nobody out. A single for Kinsey Hansen.
And this is what's interesting real quick, is that if you watch this pitch location, they've been working Hansen under the hands, under the hands, under the hands, and then watch Atwood. She's going to jump to the outer half, and when that movement comes, this Oklahoma team, they can read that. That is like tailing. That ball's going to the outer half. Hansen lets it travel and pops it the other way.
And what a bat for Kinsey Hansen. She battled off all those pitches in on her hands, worked that count, got a pitch that she could drive opposite field.
Riley Boone. You know, she's going to put it in play. She's only struck out twice all season. And with runners in scoring position, she's 484 at the plate.
Yeah, this Oklahoma team, when the pressure's on, they actually do better. With runners in scoring position, as a team, they're hitting .399. Their team batting average is .394 coming into today. So they get better in pressure situations.
Just missed away, 2-1. Boone, base knock, and that'll drive in a run. Hansen heading for third. She's in there safely. And Riley Boone with the RBI single for the Sooners. And it all started with a walk.
And where the defense was playing. I mean, if you look at where Alyssa Washington pinched up towards the middle, I mean, just perfect placement. It's not that Riley Boone hit this this ball so hard, it's that she puts the ball in play, really where Washington is regularly played at second base, but finds that hole because of the different positioning.
Yeah, the infield will stay in here with still
Be a runner at
Bland would go back. Oh, that hurts Riley Boone, too. I mean, it takes an RBI and a hit away from her. Talk about the difference with replay review.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that umpires aren't going to notice. For Kinsey Hansen, a huge mistake.
And that was actually off enough that the umpire, I think, could read that. When they have to kind of scroll back and forth, when it's that close, that's when it becomes, all right, was that the intent of the rule change? But this one was pretty obvious.
So Hansen becomes the first out of the inning. And Bland will have to come back out of the dugout, return to third base, and Riley Boone is back at the plate. And it's a 2-1 count. Which could be a very significant development here. Boone, another chance at an RBI, chops that one to third. High up to get it as Scott checks the runner, and then Boone beats out the throw.
I'll tell you what, for Riley Boone, after all of that break, she already got a hit RBI. She's on first base, has to come back on, put her gear back on, just uses the ground, jumps up. Mia Scott makes a beautiful play to get to this, but the speed of Boone beats this out. Look at her face. Talk about wanting to get down the line. I'm sure frustrated she had to come back.
First and third with one out now for Jada Coleman, and back to the top of the order. The throw down, they'll give Boone second base, and Bland will return to third. And so Jada Coleman now a chance at a couple RBI. 8 home runs, 27 ribs on the season. As she has moved back to the leadoff spot for the Sooners. She bounced around a little bit through the first half of the season. Goes the opposite way, and she delivers. One run is in. Boone will hold at third. And I think we're going to still count this one for Bland. Scoring to make it 1-0.
Look at the swing from Jada Coleman. This is like a three-quarter swing. Like literally just understanding this pitch is low and away. Look how far off the plate. Watch her just reach and poke. The strength of Jada Coleman and honestly the hand-eye coordination to hit a pitch that far off the plate, moving down, finding grass, and getting the RBI finally for Oklahoma.
Here's Alyssa Brito. Well, with 2 on and 1 out, these next 2 coming up here have been packing some punch of late. Brito and then Tiare Jennings. Look at that over the last 8 games. Those 2 have combined to hit 13 bombs, 12 for the rest of the team. Brito, high fly ball, should be deep enough though for Boone to score. Dayton's throw will be cut off. They'll go for the out at second, and sliding in safely is Coleman, and Brito has the sac fly. Bottom of the order got it started for Oklahoma, and now the top bringing them in. And Sophia Simpson is up in the bullpen.
Sacrifice fly, that's one thing you don't see off the bat very often when Mac Morgan is in the circle. Just the second sac fly she's given up in her career.
Wow.
Not in the year, career.
Couple in here in the third. Sooners not done yet. Jennings with Coleman out at second. For Tiare Jennings, she is 1 RBI away from moving up to 7th all-time and 2 home runs away from catching Stacy Newman at number 90, 89 and 90 for her career.
And Beth, to your point, what's amazing about that, sitting at those 47 RBI this year, is that Brito in front of her has 37, and Coleman has 27, well, 28 now herself. So they're bopping a lot of people in. But she doesn't get to.
Slices that one, the pop-up, and the catch is made by Alyssa Washington. But a couple runs and help bring the Sooners back to the pack. Of course, OU still has Oklahoma State coming up at the end of the season. Baylor's been looking pretty good again this year. So some challenges await. Here's Vic Hunter, 8, 9, and then the top. They go freshman, sophomore, freshman. Or excuse me, senior. Freshman, senior, freshman. That's in for a strike to Hunter.
It'll be interesting to see how Texas responds after Oklahoma puts a couple runs up on the board.
Hunter's 12 for 27 on the season with a couple of home runs. So far for Kelly Maxwell, 4 strikeouts through the first couple of innings. Just 1 walk, 1 base runner allowed so far. Maxwell misses way away as the shadows now creep across home plate and are heading for the pitcher's circle.
I think these next couple innings are going to be tall tale of the series for Texas. I mean, you can't expect any pitcher, any pitching staff to really shut out Oklahoma, right? So you've got to know that you're going to be in a battle. You've got to know that if you're going to beat Oklahoma, it's probably going to be 4 or 5 runs they're going to put up on the board, which means you have to figure out a way to score 7 or 8 runs against their pitching staff, which is how Louisiana beat them. It's how
Miami scared them.
Yeah, scared them, absolutely. Hit some long balls.
I'll say a lot of home runs.
Oh, yeah.
You do not want Miami of Ohio coming to your town in the NCAA tournament. Let's get that right out there now.
Carly Spade.
Swing and a miss, and it's strikeout number 5 for Kelly. 1 down.
Not even competitive pitches, but Texas is swinging through them.
There's Bella Dayton in the 9 spot in the order. Her 3rd year at Texas after starting out a couple of years at Arizona. She has World Series experience. In fact, hit .350 in helping Texas reach the championship a couple of years ago. Trying to get off to a good start here. Their last series win against Oklahoma was 15 years ago. Popped up, Maxwell gloves it, 2 down. And that'll spin it to the top of the order, and Caden Henry, a strikeout victim, her first time up. Just a gorgeous night here in Austin. I don't know, maybe get a little barbecue, get a little live music in post-game. That's what they want to do.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Bring it on. Bring it on. We're back here tomorrow night on ESPN at 8 Eastern. Sunday afternoon at 2 Eastern on Longhorn Network. Building towards the last Big 12 championship for these two. Maxwell is mowing them down in Georgia. And then Smitty's Pokes are the only team that have gotten them twice over the course of the last 3.5 years. Pretty remarkable.
It is remarkable. Just the recruiting, the ability to bring in transfers that have made massive impacts.
Yep. And this group that has really anchored them, Tiare Jennings, Jada Coleman, Riley Boone, Kinsey Hansen, Nicole May. When I hear a crazy stat, we'll probably see Nicole at some point this weekend. Right now, she has as many championship rings as she does losses in her career. 3 of them. That's it.
That's it.
And the biggest thing that senior class is doing is teaching this new wave of freshmen like Ella Parker, who's up to bat right now, how to handle the pressure of what it means to wear that jersey and the amount of people and fans and eyeballs, something you've never experienced in your life. Jada Coleman and Tiare Jennings especially, because they were impact freshmen. The moment they stepped on campus, they were in the lineup, a huge part of this team, and they've got 2 big freshmen in this lineup.
4, 5, and 6 here for the Sooners. They got their 2 runs in the last inning. In basketball, you know, with the women's Final Four going on tonight, we call it Clarkonomics, and the impact that Caitlin Clark has on the economy wherever she goes. To some extent, Oklahoma saw that last year.
Fans that follow them, sold out, home and away.
Drawing big crowds, more attention, often brings more scrutiny. You have to be able to handle the praise and also the criticism.
This series was sold out days with it.
Yeah.
Going up on the website, I mean, it is packed. There's fans standing, making their own stands to try to see a little bit of this softball.
Parker draws the walk. Hey, speaking of that Final Four, South Carolina and NC State, that's the first national semifinal tonight. Gamecocks undefeated. NC State, that Cinderella story, just like their men are. Three of the 4 innings now a base runner for OU. And Parker in the leadoff, so leadoff walks 2 innings in a row, and I know Michelle's hair is on fire as a result of that. Last inning, that walk runner came in to score. Pops it up out on the grass in left center, and it drops. The throw into second in time to get the out. And Texas is able to clean up what could have been disastrous.
Well, that's Caden Henry, who's a freshman. That's hers all the way, especially once they're both calling it. Viviana Martinez also goes out and basically knocks the ball out of her glove. But that's something she's got to give way to, and honestly, the freshman's got to be loud. We talk about freshman, impact, pressure, all of that. This is the first time Caden Henry has played in front of a crowd like this. It's not enough to call it, you gotta yell it.
Yeah, fortunate Henry picked that ball up and got it into Washington. Good stretch at second to get that lead runner out.
So a runner at first with 1 down for Cassidy Pickering. Scored a fielder's choice for the center fielder. So one of the, you know, we talked about all the similarities between these 2 schools, but one of the big differences is on the defensive side. Was it 13 errors all year for OU, 38 errors for Texas. And when these 2 get together, often it is the miscue that makes the difference. The last 3 seasons, look at the errors for Texas and the difference in the runs and earned runs. Even this year, guys, 5 losses, 7 errors led to 10 unearned runs, and a few of those were close games.
Yeah. And you know, against a team like Oklahoma, they're going to hit the ball hard. They're going to make errors, right, offensively, in other words, because they strike the ball so hard.
Morgan with the snag, and their second double play of the game.
The never, I suppose.
Just making us wait. We're all good. Coach, I know that coming into the series, it's like any other, of course, but this one is different. It just is. And how did you prepare this team coming into this?
Well, that's a good question. Obviously, you know, they've got good pitching staff, and we had a feeling we'd face Maxwell, but she's very tough. She throws a lot of good pitches and nothing really easy to hit. So, but, you know, we try to put as much pressure as we could on our team, you know, situational defense practice throughout the week.
Thank you very much, Mike. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hook 'em.
Well, and he's got a group here coming up that could put some of that pressure on. Scott, Mitchell, and Atwood, the heart of their order coming up. And it's the second time through for them to face Kelly Maxwell. Maxwell, 6 strikeouts through the first 3 innings, has only allowed 1 base runner, and that was on a free pass. Scott flew out to right, her first time up. Strike 1.
Scott typically strong against lefties, a .522 batting average against lefties this year, but not all lefties have the movement that Maxwell does.
Called strike 3. That's her second looking for Kelly.
Well, and that's
her
a changeup. 6th strikeout of the game, and this one on the changeup, she just has so many tools in that toolbox. So she'll go rise ball upstairs, she'll throw that curveball inside and outside, and then she can also throw that pitch that blends off of all those pitches, the changeup.
I think that's a new strikeout pitch for the night.
It is.
She has struck out 6 of the 9 in the batting order. And one of those was Jolie Mitchell back in the first.
It was her 7th strikeout of the game. So
Starting to see these Texas hitters now, second time through the order, moving the batter's box. Mia Scott was really up on the plate. Now Jolie Mitchell, as she gets in, is up in the very front part of the box.
And you have to make some sort of adjustments, right, Jess? You have to do something. It might not be your comfort zone, but you have to try to catch that ball before it breaks. And I can tell you from experience as a left-handed pitcher, when a right-handed hitter would move up in the box, I typically struggle a little bit more because they're trying to catch the ball before it really starts to run through the zone.
2-1. And now 2-2. Mitchell got under it. Torres calling for it. 2 down.
I like the attempt. She got herself in a leverage 3-1 count, but just gets underneath the ball.
So here comes Reese Atwood. Struck out on a curveball in the second. First pitch swinging, backhanded Brito. And a 1-2-3 inning for the heart of the order. Kelly Maxwell taking care of it.
Great.
Get back to some regional rivalries.
Yes, please. Or just schools staying on the coast that they're on.
And how about potential schools like you just mentioned, Colorado, adding softball? Who would be on your wish list?
Oh my gosh, well, Colorado,
USC.
Vanderbilt, USC, Miami.
Miami. Gosh, she stole all my thunder.
Woo! I'm sorry, that was a rhetorical question, Michelle. Michelle, where would you like to see softball added?
There was only one right answer.
Well, let me tell you, there's 4 schools.
Sanders walked, and then her pinch runner Maya Bland scored in the 3rd inning, so Sydney cannot be subbed in for again, or she's burnt. Followed by Hansen and Boone. This is the group that started the 2-run rally. That could have been a lot worse for Texas. Kinsey Hansen called out, took a run off the board for leaving a base too soon. Just the 1 loss on the season, 34-1 for the Sooners. Not to Louisiana. But they've got wins over Duke and Washington, those coming early in the season. And Sanders walks again. That's the 3rd inning in a row, starting with a free pass.
Free passes are hard to recover from, especially when they're to the leadoff hitter.
That's a ball.
A couple of close pitches that haven't gone her way.
That's a fair ball inside the bag at 3rd and all the way down into the deep corner. Sanders will hold at 3rd base, a double for Kinsey Hansen. And 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. Mike White is already signaling that he wants to see a review of this.
Oh, that's a foul ball.
Foul ball.
That's a foul ball.
I think Texas is going to go 2-0 on the reviews. They will reverse the call. Foul ball, and Hansen will come back to the plate, and Sanders will head back over to first. Remember, she's already been pinch run for once, so she has to stay in the game to run for herself here. And that was the first pitch of the at-bat, so Hansen will step back in 0-1. And they go right back to try and jamming her inside.
Well, it's interesting that they're pitching her inside, but Mia Scott at 3rd had been off the line. We'll see if she tries to tuck in off on the line a little bit more.
Oh, she's tucked.
Right to her. She'll go to 2nd for 1, over to 1st. Not in time. They get the lead runner for the first out.
Yeah, Mia Scott ready for this one. Right on the line. It's a nice job getting it to 2nd. Really close at 1st. Kinsey beats it out.
Runner on 1st, 1 out. Riley Boone takes strike 1. Boone singled, then stole a base and came in to score in the 3rd. That's when Oklahoma plated both their scores.
One thing about this Oklahoma team is we talk a lot about Coleman, Brito, Jennings. You're the top of the lineup, but the bottom of the lineup can do so much damage. You know, hence when we were talking earlier, all those RBIs for Coleman, Brito, and Jennings. It's the bottom of the lineup they're getting in.
Off the glove of Morgan, and the deflection. Boone still out at 1st. And now Patty wants a review. And the runner is safe. So the 2nd infield hit for Boone. Strike 1 to Jada.
I love that Jada Coleman, the way she shows her emotion, everything that she's feeling. She wanted that pitch. She was triggered, her hips, everything. Didn't swing at it.
#1 in the Big 12 right now, batting average, walks, runs scored. She's the reigning National Player of the Week. She only hit .857 last week, guys.
Watch her whole body load up to swing every single pitch. Even when she takes, her entire lower half, I mean, she is yes, 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 okay, maybe no. But her entire physique, her lower half, everything is ready to swing the bat. That's how every hitter should be, especially at the youth level. And she gets a ton of walks. So it's not like she's just being aggressive on anything. She's ready to hit no matter what, but has a great eye to stop her body at the last minute.
Yeah, there's no guessing. She hasn't pre-made up her mind. She's swinging or not swinging.
1-2 from Morgan. Hansen and Boone aboard for Oklahoma, and that is blasted back towards the wall and gone. Jada Coleman, 3-run home run. Ninth of the season, and she's got 4 of their 5 runs batted in tonight.
She couldn't wait to get back in the batter's box. Even after the foul balls, even after the balls that she took that were rolling in the dirt, she'd step out, get right back in. You could just tell her demeanor is, I am going to hit right now. Upset even on a strike that she took, but this pitch inside, leaving right over the heart of the plate, she blasted out to right field.
Mac Morgan typically does not miss up. Second home run, only the second home run of the year that she has given up, but that pitch elevated. That was a miss.
148 runs for the Sooners now via the home run ball this season. And they jump out in front 5-0, and here's Alyssa Brito. Brito skies that back on the grass, and it's dropped. And Brito will leg it out to second base. That is the second dropped ball of an infielder backing into the outfield, and the outfielder not taking charge.
Oklahoma, along with the power, making something happen, even with the drop fly ball.
So a walk, an error, and a home run in the inning. And here's Tiare Jennings. 0 for 2 tonight.
Oklahoma just exploits everything, right? They take advantage of every pitch, every defensive miscue. You give them a micrometer, and they turn it into a mile.
Another thing that Mike White talked about, no help for those guys. And they've helped him out with some free passes and the error. Let's see what Jennings can do. 3rd time through now, seeing this same pitcher, Mac Morgan. Right back up the middle, and that'll drop in. Base hit, Jennings. 1st and 3rd for OU. Their 3rd hit of the inning.
Check the exit velocity on that one. That was smoked up the middle.
And with a pitch count at 85 on a hot night here in Austin.
Crafty lefty herself. There's a lot of backdoor to lefties, a lot of curveball away.
And she'll face A lefty freshman in Ella Parker, 4th best freshman batting average in the country. In foul territory and tracked down by Mia Scott. 2 down.
Check is going to be in the mid to high 60s. That curveball we talked about, both backdoor and running into righties, a rise ball, but she also will mix up that changeup. This is a Texas staff that all the pitchers have a decent changeup. I think it's a pitch you're going to have to use effectively against Oklahoma to try to take that power away.
Alina Torres is the 8th to the plate this inning. Torres pops it up. And coming around to make the catch is Bella Dayton.
A prolific hitter.
There's lots of reasons, but she's just such a competitor, such an athlete, such a good eye for the ball. She can hit bad pitches. That wasn't such a bad pitch, and she knows how to hit bad pitches hard in big clutch moments.
Kelly Maxwell, 7 Ks already. What have you liked from her tonight?
Just command, control, working ahead in the count, moving pitches, taking speeds off, and she's really tough right now.
Thank you very much, Patty.
Thanks, Patty.
Thank you.
Maxwell will stay in the ball game here with a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th. And look at the numbers tonight: 7 strikeouts, 1 base runner allowed on a walk, and the Horns are hitless to date. 5, 6, and 7 are coming up here. And got a pinch hitter here. Leanne Good will come on to hit for Alyssa Washington. Sophomore out of San Antonio. All Big 12 second teamer as a freshman. She was in the starting lineup every game. Two and 0. Good's batting .283 on the season. Defensive changes as well here for the Sooners. That's Avery Hodge, sophomore out of Richmond, Texas, now on at second base, and Hannah Kaur is out in left field. A lot of depth for both these rosters, a lot of options for these two head coaches.
Yeah, this would be their probably best defensive lineup right now, with Hannah Kaur in left and Avery Hodge at second.
3-1. Outside corner, full count.
This is that backdoor curveball that she's going to start in the river and try to bend it back. See that good.
And a strikeout for Maxwell. That's number 8. 1 down.
She goes back upstairs after a backdoor curveball. She goes back to that. Looks like that's a little more rise. It's definitely not the lower backdoor curveball. Just elevates the pitch. That's good to chase it out of the zone.
She has struck out 7 different Longhorns tonight. Martinez, who walked in the second, the lone base runner for Texas.
Maxwell's really blending her pitches well. You almost can't tell even from here if the pitches are rise balls or curve balls, but it's mostly on location.
Look at the efficiency too, guys. Just 60 pitches.
Yeah, with 8 strikeouts.
Pops it up. Oh, Hansen lost it. As you mentioned, Jess, she's just back behind the plate, first full game in a while.
knee injury, her right knee.
She's only caught 22 of their 35 games. Riley Ludlam, the transfer from Furman, has been back behind the plate.
And Hansen's one of the best in the business at stealing strikes. I mean, she frames the ball so well. She works her body, she works her glove, really pulling those pitches back into the zone.
The blue tape helps the pitchers with focus.
Like believe it.
Spoken like a pitcher.
Uh-huh.
How about the Johnny Bench winner for Kinsey Hansen? Best catcher in the game last year. First team All-American, was on the All-World Series team as the Sooners won for a third straight season.
She's one of those that does even better under pressure. Her at-bats behind the plate, how she's led staffs.
How about the 7th inning home run last year in the Supers to beat Clemson? Whew. With 2 outs.
2 strikes.
2 strikes.
It's what you live for. It's why you practice, why you train, it's honestly why you play.
Full count. Swing and a miss for Vivi. Strikeout number 9. 2 down.
It's almost surgical the way that she is just attacking with precision. The lower half of the zone, the upper half of the zone with the rise, and then this is that drop ball that she throws and has not thrown a lot in her career, but she has that tool to bring it back out. Much more diverse pitcher with all of her different pitches than what she really used last year. A different pitch caller. Jen Rocha really challenging her. Those are strikeout pitches.
Look at the usage there with the rise, the curve, and the off speed. Here's Ashton Maloney, grounded out in the 2nd. Kelly is the latest in a long line of left-handers that Patty Gasso has loved dearly over the years. And almost every occasion, the last 2, obviously the right-hander with Jordy Ball as the ace, but prior to that, they were all lefties that got them to the national championship. Nicole May is up in the pen now. Maloney, and there is the first hit of the night for Texas. Breaking up the no-no here in the bottom of the 5th.
This is just the simplicity of contact. I mean, Ashton Maloney does a beautiful job. Watch her head and eyes, just getting her barrel to that ball. And by the way, where Oklahoma's defense was playing her, it was such a tough spot to even get in. Left field was pulled in. It was perfectly placed.
First base runner since the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss for Hunter.
You saw Victoria Hunter, man. She did that her first at bat too. Just came hacking first pitch.
Oh, and in batting practice before the game, she was lighting it up.
It's shading, and she's still got the shades on.
Ground ball. And they'll go the short way. Hodge to Jennings. 1 strand RBIs. And the Sooners will go back to work here in the top of the 6th. 2 runs in the 3rd inning, and then the 3-run blast in the 5th for OU's got them dancing in the dugout right now. Trying to beat Texas for the 8th game in a row. They are 30-1 against the Longhorns in the last 10 years. Here's Hannah Core, who came on to play defense. She'll stay in the batting order. Estelle Check, who came on in relief in the last inning, back to work. Senior from Downers Grove, Illinois. And gets the strikeout, 1 down.
That is the first strikeout for an Oklahoma hitter in this game. Just not a whole lot of swing and miss. Beautiful spin from Estelle Check going up in the zone. I love that she started this pitch as a strike, and it still ends up at a strike at the top of the zone. That tight spin late.
There's Sid Sanders. 2 walks. Her pinch runner Bland came in to score in the 3rd. It's an Oklahoma team that, what's their strikeout rate? 8%, one of the best in the country.
Yeah, not a lot of strikes. In fact, that was just their 90th of the year to over about 190 walks. It's amazing. I mean, typically, you hope that ratio is about 1-to-1. You're really great if it's 1-to-1. They're like off the charts good. 100 more walks than strikeouts.
Sanders is only 2 of 11 against left-handed pitchers this year, but those 2 were taters.
It's kind of how she rolls.
There's the 1-2 from Check. Fly ball, left side in foul territory, and plenty of room for Dayton, 2 down. Combs Field tomorrow night, 8 Eastern on ESPN. 1-point game at the women's Final Four tonight at the half. South Carolina up on NC State. Don't forget, coming up later tonight on ESPN, game 2 of the national semis with UConn and Iowa.
I know what I'll be doing tonight with some barbecue.
Yummy.
Yummy.
Hansen slices underneath that. And Estelle Check has the 1-2-3 inning. They've got 6 outs to work with, does Texas. Downton will try and get it going. 9 and then the top of the order. A walk in the 2nd inning and the Ashton Maloney single in the 5th, the only 2 times they have gotten aboard tonight.
Maxwell's thrown the ball a little bit harder this year. She's up at 64, 65 miles an hour.
Took a foul ball.
Yeah.
Got the leg. Oh, the job of a catcher. I mean, we talk about her leadership and everything else, but you choose to catch. It says a lot about your personality and toughness. Missed the shin guard.
Dayton skies that one to right. Riley Boone, 1 down.
I think the biggest thing, Smitty, that I see with Kelly Maxwell, if you're going to talk about differences in this uniform versus Oklahoma State, is the conviction that she has. And that comes with confidence. That comes with understanding she is the ace of the #1 team in the country. And instead of backing down from that, which I feel like it was intimidating early, she now pitches with this conviction that adds velocity, adds movement. And it's taken some time to get there, but she is there.
Yeah, and I think she had to overcome the fact that she transferred from Oklahoma State to Oklahoma. I think internally, there was some, fight in there.
Upheaval, yeah.
Yep, and so, she's settled into her role, and I think she's embraced the changes. She's embraced that Oklahoma does more video work than what she did last year. She had a very different pitching coach last year that was not big on using video work and figuring out how they were going to attack hitters and how to have a different look. She was more one-dimensional. And in this game, you cannot be. If you stay the same between your 4 years in college, you're going to get hit. You've got to learn to make adjustments.
Because guess who is watching video?
That's right.
The team you're playing.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Katie Simmons, the junior from Humboldt, Texas, is the pinch hitter here. 1-2 the count. Another strikeout would tie her season high. She had 10 against Texas Tech in a win this year. As it stands, she's in line to win a decision that would get her to 11-0 unless Texas can rally here. Spent the summer with the U.S. national team. Has a no-hitter already against Tarleton State on her Oklahoma resume. Ground ball to short. Jennings got it. Wow.
You talk about focus and concentration. I mean, this felt like there was no chance, especially once it went off the glove of Alyssa Brito. Tiara Jennings not only is there making sure she's there to back up her infielder, but stays focused off her back foot. Makes the throw a beautiful stretch by her first baseman, Sydney Sanders.
That's that Sooner defense. You lose All-American Grace Lyons, and you just shift Tiara Jennings over there to play short. Not skipping a beat. Here's Mia Scott, 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Texas trying to avoid a third shutout in their last 4 games. They had not been shut out in their previous losses. Not sure who the Big 12 scheduler is, but woof. Putting the Pokes and Sooners back-to-back for Texas.
Yeah, it's a tough draw. Yeah, this is a Texas team that started out so hot. They were looking like they were on a rocket ship to the moon, and a couple little bumps here the last few weeks.
Full count. Got her. Number 10 to tie her season high for Kelly Maxwell. OU in control as we head to Riley Boone to start things off. Looking to drop down the bunt, foul.
Smart idea, lefty pitcher. Jolie Mitchell staying back. No one on that first base side of the field. You don't see a whole lot of short game with Oklahoma. We talked so much about the power and the slug, and Riley Boone's got a little bit of everything.
Challenging the new corners. Mitchell now over at third. Katie Simmons over at first base.
That one's foul as well. Riley with a couple of singles, fouls one off. How about the 7, 8, 9 batters have scored 4 of the 5 runs tonight? Good from the bottom. Two and two. With Coleman, the home run hitter on deck, a 3-run shot in the 5th inning. Called strike 3. Just the 3rd strikeout of Riley Boone all season. Estelle Check gets it done. Hey, look who's here. Little Cat Osterman sighting.
Baby girl.
Aww.
Oh,
So great.
teach him young. That's right. She's got to be a lefty, right?
I would think.
Aww. Definitely the most famous softball player to come out of this place. Not one of the most famous softball players in general. Pretty cool to have her at home games. It was her number getting retired, right, when they beat OU?
Yes, that's right.
Dulcini was in the circle.
A 4-2 win that day. That was 2 years ago here. Oklahoma went undefeated in league play last year. They start out 12-0 in the Big 12 this year.
Coleman asking for a timeout, but doesn't get it. Remember, with the new clock, hitters have to be in the box before it hits 10 seconds.
Coleman pulls that to the right side, scooped over to first, 2 down. There's doubleheaders for you, UFL action this weekend. Brito has singled, reached on an error, and a sac fly RBI today. Coming up, by the way, bottom 7, it will be the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Last chance for Texas in game 1 of this 3-game series tomorrow night on ESPN. Sunday afternoon on Longhorn. Lifted out to left. 1, 2, 3 inning. Bottom 7 coming up for the Horns in the Big 12 standings.
Ooh. See definitely more adjustments made early in the count. I mean, you let Kelly Maxwell get you to 2 strikes. That's why you've seen 10 Ks on the night. So now first pitch swinging, a discipline to understand the zone. Just haven't seen a lot of balls put in play.
Mitchell, Atwood, Washington due up. Mitchell, base hit. That was their hardest hit ball of the game. Reese Atwood struck out in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th. Boy, if for nothing else, you're looking to get a little boost of confidence heading into tomorrow's game. Skips away from Hansen. Mitchell to 2nd. Score that a wild pitch. No bullpen activity. OU looking to let Maxwell finish this one out. 2-1.
Reese Atwood is sitting inside. She's taken everything away. She's off the plate. She got it, but it was a changeup. And that's where we haven't seen a whole lot from Kelly Maxwell, but there she goes inside for the pitch that Atwood is looking for. And by the way, we'll hit it off of the housing in left field had that been harder. Instead, it was a changeup.
Atwood hoping to bust out of a bit of a funk at the plate of late. Stays alive.
If I'm Maxwell, I'm going to stay away or go rise way out of the zone.
Trying to chase her upstairs. They're going to come back with that off speed on the inner half again. Most of the time you see slow, low and out, but if you can throw that pitch inside, it's also deadly as well.
Two-two, and that's a fair ball. Out to left field, and a run will score for Texas. Mitchell comes in, and Reese Atwood gets him on the board.
They came back inside, and for Reese Atwood, that was the approach the entire at-bat. In fact, she backed off the plate. She took everything away, and this one was not the changeup. This is hard, low and in. A curveball breaking into her hands. Because she's off the plate, she can get to this pitch just enough. She doesn't rocket it. She gets enough barrel, scoot it down the line. Texas is on the board.
I'm going to call that a double down the line for Atwood. That's a great at-bat. Fouling off pitches, working deep into the count.
Adea Wallace is on to pinch hit. Their first runner in scoring position, and they score it for Texas tonight. Looking for a pass-the-bat rally. Washington 0 for 2. Excuse me, Good is the batter here, struck out in the 5th. One from Maxwell. Hansen able to block and keep it in front of her.
Really good job by Hansen to drop down to her knees, keep that changeup in front of her. Kelly Maxwell starting to use that off-speed pitch quite a bit more.
Look how far Jada Coleman is center field. Now she's backing up a little bit. She was on those horns, playing shallow.
3-1. Two on now for Texas. The tying run steps into the on-deck circle now for the Horns, and Jen Rocha out to talk to Kelly. Vivi Martinez, a walk and a strikeout. .300 hitter on the season, also hitting better than 300 runners in scoring position this year. Martinez, ground ball to second. There's a tag for one, to throw to first, and Martinez is safe.
Good job by Martinez to hustle down the line.
Yeah, and Patty wants a review here. A single, a double, a walk. Now the fielder's choice for Texas. Let's see if it stands with one out.
Good job by Avery Hodge. Go over to touch the bag. Yeah,
Safe.
I think she's safe. I think this is also calm the crowd down and give a little momentum.
Well, it's a really
pause.
close play, so I think it's worth looking at. But you're right. I mean, everyone was on their feet. It was loud. Now it's quiet. It's almost like getting that 3-minute timeout.
1 hit with 10 strikeouts through the first 6 innings, but a couple of hits and a run scored here in the 7th. Runners on the corners. Ashton Maloney broke up the no-hitter with a single in the 5th. Wallace and Martinez, your base runners, good speed.
Look at Hannah Core in left field. I mean, she's practically in the infield. So hard to find grass.
Heading her way, she's got a beat on it, catch is made. The throw to the plate, hands her at the tag, and sliding in safe as Wallace. "5-2 ball game."
Great job by Cook to go get this. I'm actually surprised there's a tag on this.
Yeah, no, and it's a really close play. I think she gets in there. She does.
Yeah.
I love the aggressiveness because honestly, there's not a lot of balls being put in play.
Absolutely, Jess. And that's a hard throw because she's kind of running slightly inside the line, so you're trying to thread the needle from left field. Good job by Wallace, the pinch runner.
That's the second out of the inning on the catch there. So Vic Hunter down to their final couple of strikes here to try and keep the rally alive in the bottom of the 7th. One from Maxwell. 1-2. Misses away, 2-2.
A backflip on a walk. That's how big that moment felt with this crowd.
Those were good takes. Earlier in the game, Texas had been swinging through those pitches at the top of the zone.
And now in a 3-run game, the tying run comes to the plate, and the pinch hitter is Katie Stewart, who in batting practice today broke that window in the new housing complex across the street beyond the left field fence.
No one had hit a window until that point, and they erupted in batting practice.
And it's her first pinch hit appearance of the year. Break another window, tie game. The freshman against the senior All-American in the circle. Inside corner, 1-1.
It's a great take for the freshman. Wow.
2-1.
Maxwell never changes, always composed.
to their final strike for the second time. Lays off, full count. Stewart off the glove. The throw in time to get her at first base on the deflection off of Brito. Tiare Jennings ends it.
Yo, let's take a moment to appreciate the ones who heal us when we're not feeling great. They're the ones in white coats with stethoscopes, saving lives, giving hope, never losing scope. From the ER to the operating room, they battle illness, dispelling gloom. With steady hands and hearts of gold, they navigate the chaos, bold and cold. They're the healers, the guardians of health. In the face of adversity, they stand with stealth. With knowledge and skill, they fight the fight, keeping us strong in the darkest night. In the midst of pain, they bring relief with compassion and care beyond belief. They listen to our woes with empathy, prescribing remedies, setting us free. From pediatric wards to geriatric care, they show compassion, always there. With expertise and dedication, they strive to keep us healthy, to keep us alive. They're the healers, the guardians of health. In the face of adversity, they stand with stealth. With knowledge and skill, they fight the fight, keeping us strong in the darkest night. So here's to the doctors, the unsung heroes, whose hands hold lives like precious kilos. In the symphony of healing, they play a part, mending bodies and souls with love and art.